CTO at Comport Consulting. With me today is Sundip Arora. He's the Director of Storage for HPE, Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Welcome, Sundip.
Erik, thank you for having me. Really a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks. So a lot of big announcements in the last day or so from HPE around storage. Why don't you give us a little bit of a taste of what's going on here?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it's super exciting for us, and I'll try to cover this in plain English, and hopefully how it resonates with our customers, with our partners. What we announced is threefold. The first one, Erik, as you know, was this idea of unified data ops. That is our strategic vision over the next few years of how we convert our company into a company that not helps our customers just manage the infrastructure, but manage their data. In other words, we're looking to make sure that regardless of who our customers are and where they store and manage and use their data, they can access it, manage it through a web-based control layer. That's then leads me to the second part of the announcement, which was called Data Services Cloud Console. This is best in class, the first of the industry announcement that talks about changing the way our customers manage their existing infrastructure, whether it's on-premises, off-premises, in a co-location, so on and so forth. This is a cloud-native management console that is going to be used to manage over time our customers' entire HPE infrastructure through a cloud portal that can be accessed anywhere. So imagine being able to manage your storage servers, networking devices on your iPhone through an interface or on vacation from a beach. The idea is that we want to give you the flexibility of being able to manage your infrastructure much like you would on an AWS, Azure, GCP kind of experience. The difference here being that we are giving you the option to manage both on-premises infrastructure, stuff that sits in your data centers, and then stuff that might actually live up in a public hyperscaler. Yeah, and the third piece of the announcement are basically two new products, which really are an evolution of existing products we have. We've got the Aletra 6000, which is essentially a next generation nimble platform that now builds on NVMe native end-to-end capability, allows our customers to have better performance, denser form factor, technology built for the future. And the second product is Aletra 9000, which is based and built on the DNA of HPE Primera, but this allows customers again to have that NVMe capability. And the reason for having both these products under a single brand was to make sure that we are aligning our strategy to making the actual hardware ambiguous to the control layer. We want our customers to have the exact same experience that they would have if they were managing, like I said, services on Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud Platform or Alibaba or one of these hyperscalers. But we're giving them the flexibility and the option of doing this for on-premises infrastructure. So that's the crux of the announcement. And I'm actually very excited to learn from you. How does this resonate with your customers? What are you hearing from customers that you serve on how this is going to help them change their management infrastructure?
Yeah, it's a great question. Talked to a lot of customers, and there's a few things that sort of are threads that go across just about every customer that we speak to, that I speak to. One is that they want simplicity, and two is that they want flexibility. And so one is simplicity to not have to manage storage so much on a day-to-day basis. They want to deploy business solutions out to their business units, out to their customers, whoever the end user is of that particular solution. They want to do it quickly. They want it to do easily, and usually they want it from the single pane of glass type of thing that we've been striving for in the storage world for years, right? Trying to bring everything under one big umbrella. And they want flexibility, right? So they want to be able to put data where they want it, when they want it, how they want it. They can move it on-prem, they can move their data out into the cloud and have the same view of the world and be able to deploy it just as easily in any one of those places. So I think it plays into almost everybody's strategy these days about having hybrid infrastructure that they can manage from a centralized console.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And one of the best things about Data Services Cloud Console is that it will allow our customers to get access to innovation faster, right? Because this is deployed in the cloud, there is nothing for you to install. When there's a new service available, it'll be available to our customers. They'll be able to deploy it, they'll be able to use it. And the other piece that I failed to mention was, over time, this becomes much like the catalog that our customers will use to deploy new services. If, for example, I want to deploy a backup service, an archive service, quite simply, they'll go onto this cloud-based platform. They'll be able to pick the service they want. Internally, we'll give them recommendations on what hardware platform to put this on. Again, the hardware layer, our goal is to make that completely ambiguous. Right? What you should be focused on, to your point, Erik, is the value add services, the applications that allow our customers to run their business. The hardware, it becomes a layer of intelligence that we recommend that customers use based on the profile of the applications and the workloads they want to run. So, I'm super excited how this is going to change how customers manage infrastructure, right? No longer sitting there figuring out what volumes to use for what workloads, size of volumes, performance profiles, right? All of this is completely driven by artificial intelligence, and much like we did with InfoSight, which is a critical part of Data Services Cloud Console.
Yeah, absolutely. And having these platforms built upon NVMe sort of removes some of the bottlenecks that existed in the past around storage. So it allows us to deploy storage and then use it how we want to use it, allow customers to do those things, and as again, add some flexibility into how they're deploying their infrastructure specifically around storage, and take advantage of things like infrastructure as code. I keep hearing this from a lot of our customers as well, as they want to enable their developers to deploy this infrastructure as code, not have to pick up the phone or create a ticket and have somebody create resources for them and deploy those resources out to where they're needed. So this plays in really well to being able to hook in with APIs and all the developer tools that come along with a CI/CD platform that everybody's bringing to the table these days, and leverage storage in a very simple, easy to use, easy to understand manner.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And one of the things I think this allows us to do really well as a partner of HPE is that we can wrap multiple layers on top of different solutions in order to make them a complete solution for customers. So if they want to bring other elements into the mix around networking or software, VMware, Microsoft, Oracle, SQL, whatever it happens to be, is we can wrap all of these things into one cohesive solution, give them one single bill that they only have to deal with one vendor every single month. And then we can put this all in a centralized console so they can look at both consumption, and they can also look at consumption from a financial perspective, and they can look at consumption from a resource perspective as well.
Now, speaking of consumption from a resource perspective, I understand that Comport has pretty unique, innovative solutions around GreenLake or Nimble as a service. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So Nimble as a service is something that's relatively new, and it's really exciting because we can take what used to be a large capital purchase that customers would make, and then they would sort of support it over time with smaller purchases. We could take that and flatten out that curve so that they're consuming storage as they need it, both from a resource perspective and from a financial perspective, and they can use what they need when they need it. And as I said, one of the value adds that we bring to the picture is that we can wrap other services around that as well from a hardware perspective with Aruba or other parts of GreenLake, not just Nimble, all the way through the stack to OS and hypervisor and things like that. So from a licensing perspective, we can make licensing of VMware and Microsoft on a consumption basis as well, and wrap this all around in one big wrapper for them. Easy to consume. Well, thank you for spending some time with us today, Sundip. Some really great announcements from HPE.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Erik. Thank you so much.
And if anybody has any questions about any of the solutions that we talked about today, please reach out to Comport at comport.com. We'll be more than happy to answer any of the questions that you have.